is truly amazing. I'm excited to see Ethan Kaliakmanis develop in this spring.
And Kaliakmanis finished the year so strong. 9 touchdowns over his final 5 games. Takes care of the ball. And he has the opening snap of our afternoon, looking right, and he finds Antoine Raymond. The guy who could earn that starting running back job was the star backup to Kyle Monangai and shocked all of us last year what he did as a true freshman.
Yeah, we see a number change with him as well from 21 to number 3. So we got to get used to seeing that. But we got to see him in the bowl game versus Kansas State and show what he's able to do. Obviously, losing Kyle Monangai is not an easy feat, but that running back room for the Scarlet Knights has never had an issue year in and year out. And Antoine Raymond is the next man up.
Pickup of 22 for the sophomore from Montreal, who set the Rutgers record for rushing touchdowns by a true freshman last year with 8. And Kaliakmanis will tuck and run. And, of course, nobody's going to clobber the quarterbacks today, so you just got to get a hand on the guys in the green jerseys.
Let's just say, as a former defensive lineman, the hardest thing to do is not being able to hit the quarterback because you want to get that one lick on him, but you know you better not ever, ever, ever touch your own quarterback when it comes to practice. You leave that all for the fall coming up against other opponents.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Scarlet team. Some of the transfers that Rutgers is excited about on the offensive side are in the game right now, too. D.T. Sheffield, the wide receiver, and the tight end, Colin Weber. He's the intended target there, coming in after a 34-catch season at Charlotte.
Yeah, Colin Weber, actually, they're excited. The staff is excited about him because they said he has a little bit of wiggle. He can take guys where he gets mismatches on linebackers and go over the top with them, which allows him to be a downfield presence for that Scarlet Knights team, as well as a returning Kenny Fletcher, who will be coming back off an injury, and Victor Canopa. So the tight end room is pretty deep right now.
Another transfer, Jet Elad, who just yesterday on his 24th birthday was ruled eligible this season, disrupted that pass to Weber. And so first 3rd down opportunity for Kaliakmanis. Looks over the middle, and he's trying to find Fama Toure, but the pass is broken up. And there's another guy who can emerge in the secondary, Al-Shadi Salam, breaking it up. There is a flag.
Personal foul, hands in the face. Defense, 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic, 1st down.
Well, frustration for the new co-defensive coordinators at Rutgers, Rob Smith and Zach Sparber, as a typically clean Rutgers team commits this infraction.
That is not what you want to do on 3rd down. You're off the field, and you get illegal hands to the face. You just can't have those type of penalties, especially on 3rd down when you're about to bring the punt team out.
So new life for the Scarlet in the opening drive of the Rutgers football spring game. And a handoff for Raymond, trying to knife his way through tacklers. And he stopped for a gain of maybe 1. And this is the next step in the progression for Raymond, trying to build off the year where he played behind Monangai. He's going from being the change of pace back to the pace setter who's got to run over opponents.
Exactly. You're the guy now that has to carry that load, and it's not an easy load, especially coming off of a guy like Kyle Monangai, who just got stronger and stronger as the game got on. So Antoine Raymond has a lot on his shoulders, but he also has some guys around him that can help him develop into that every down back that Scarlet Knights are expecting him to be.
And we'll keep a look at the running back competition throughout the afternoon as Rutgers tries to find a replacement for Monangai. Kaliakmanis looking deep and overshoots his intended target. That's KJ Duff, the intended recipient.
Tell you what, KJ Duff had one heck of a year for a true freshman coming in out of Long Island St. Anthony's High School, and he developed into having one of the best hands, I believe, in the Big Ten. Just using that big frame that he has, 6'3", 6'4", 210 pounds, being able to go up there, get the ball, take the top off of the defense, and also be able to become reliable on those 3rd down hitch routes where you got to go there. You know you're going to get hit, but you still hold on to the ball and pick up the 1st down and get the sticks moving.
Great opportunity last year for the native of Long Island to learn from Kaliakmanis, who's become the veteran in the room now, right? As his senior, a 2nd-year starter, looking to throw once again. And more contact on that incomplete pass. This time Fama Toure, they were looking for him, and he's slow to get up.
Yeah, it looked like he hurt his shoulder the way he fell awkwardly, and that's the one thing you want out of the entire spring, but especially the spring game, is everyone to be healthy, and that's not something you want to see with him down right now.
Al-Shadi Salam was there for the breakup. And the Rutgers medical staff, led by the trainer Anthony Misuracco, come to check on Toure.
He's up already, which is good news to see, but you hope everything is okay. You want you guys to come out healthy.
So a couple of deep shots from Kaliakmanis so far. He's 1 for 5. I don't know about you, I'm a little surprised we've seen so much of what we saw last year. Air Shiraka we saw in last year's spring game, as Coach Shiano called it.
Yeah, you want to have a little bit of fun. You want to be able to, obviously give the crowd a show, but you also want to see that downfield game develop. And right now, obviously, 1 for 5 is not doing well, but this is what the spring is for.
Chance for Kaliakmanis to change that. He's got to go over the middle to Raymond, but he is stood up. MJ Johnson, the sophomore linebacker, forces the turnover on downs.
Yeah, and you see, obviously, you want to be able to pick up the first down there, but every drive is not going to end in points. So you take what you get. You don't force a turnover and don't force a throw down the field. And now, give your other team a chance to come back.
Well, Eric, you said it. The Rutgers defense wants to take a step forward after struggling last year. Finished 14th in the Big Ten in points per game allowed. And the emergence of some sophomores like MJ Johnson, certainly an opportunity for Rutgers to do that. And now we flip to the Whites offense for the first time. And number 10 in the green jersey, A.J. Surace, the sophomore. He's the only quarterback on the roster. The presumed backup quarterback to Kaliakmanis throwing on the play-action pass, and he finds Mike Higgins muscling his way towards the first down marker.
Hey, we're going to see a lot of A.J. Surace today, as he is the only quarterback you had mentioned down on the white team. So we're going to see what he's developed into, see if he can be that predecessor of Ethan Kaliakmanis, and local Jersey guy who came here from Notre Dame High School that you want to see really develop and be able to take this program to the next level as the years to come.
Surace redshirted last year, but when he came to Rutgers, he was the consensus best quarterback in the state of New Jersey in his recruiting class 2 years ago. And so even though we have not seen him take snaps, we know Rutgers is excited about his potential, handing off for Ja'Shawn Benjamin in a first down.
And that's what you need as you develop guys. You're not going to come in right away and play. Sometimes it takes 2 to 3 years to get on the field, but you have to continue to get better. And every time you get to play Rutgers football, not on the scout team, you really have to use those reps to get better, whether if it's on the field or even when you're back up in the film room, because you don't get that many opportunities until you become that guy.
Coach Shiano locked into every snap that Surace takes. He's going to throw on first down and airing it out. Plenty of contact, but the catch is made. That's Ben Black tiptoeing the sidelines down towards the 10.
Tell you what, Ben Black really emerged as a deep field threat as a true freshman last year out of North Carolina. And he has the ability to take the top off the defense and make those tough catches. I know the team is very excited to see what he can turn into this year when Ben Black is now a true sophomore out there. He looks a little bit bigger, too.
Crisp throw from A.J. Surace. That's one of the nuggets in the scouting report about the sophomore quarterback, is that he throws an accurate deep ball. Of course, Rutgers trying to run in the ends towards the red zone, and Ja'Shawn Benjamin fighting his way forward, gets down to the 6-yard line.
So anyway, that's another guy that runs hard, runs tough, runs strong, low to the ground, but bounces off the tacklers. The first guy does not get him down, and he just pinballs his way for 5 yards on that first down. So that's exactly what you want to see. Picking up positive yards on first down opens up the playbook here with 2nd and 5.
Kirk Shiraka back as offensive coordinator for the 3rd year, and he loves the run game. Even though Monungai is not in the backfield, still plenty of options for Rutgers to hand to. Surace fakes the handoff. He's got a tight end. It's Higgins rumbling towards the pylon, and he's in.
Great job right there by A.J. Surace. Fakes it with the play action. Higgins coming out the backside, dumps it off in a flat, and Higgins does the rest, takes it in for the White touchdown. Great job right there by A.J. Surace and the White offense, being able to get positive yards on each play and end with a touchdown.
Well, clip that highlight. The first time we see A.J. Surace throw a touchdown pass as a Scarlet Knight, far from the last.
And he's going up against pretty much that first-string defense. You see Kai Sanders out there, who was a true freshman last year that got a lot of playing time and even started some towards the end of the year. So
Dane Pizarro on for the extra point.
You're getting some good reps right now for A.J. Surace.
Well, he was great on the opening drive. Completed all 3 passes, 52 yards. And the deep shot to Ben Black sets up this play action to Mike Higgins.
Yeah, looking at that play right there on the replay. Kyle Sanders has to know he has Mike Higgins coming down. He tried to go under the route a little bit and break it up. Has to stay outside leverage, but great job by Mike Higgins slipping out, and A.J. Cerise dumping it off, leading him forward for the Scarlet Knight. Well, I should say white touchdown.
Yeah, the Scarlet and Whites representing the Scarlet Knights today at the Rutgers spring game.
A little bit of a tongue twister right there, but we'll get to it, Dom.
Exactly what you hope to see from a guy who could be the quarterback of the future for Rutgers football, A.J. Cerise, on a clean drive. And now we'll see if the starter can respond. And Kaliakmanis, 2 for 6 for 20 yards on his first opportunity. And he won't even get a look right now. Just one drive for the starting quarterback. It'll be Sean Ashenfelder, the true freshman, who hands off on first down. Of course, Rutgers, like so many teams playing spring games, want to preserve their starters. We know that Ethan Kaliakmanis is QB1. Greg Schiano said that. No ifs, ands, or buts about who our starting quarterback is. But it means these young guys, Ashenfelder, another one, get their opportunities today.
You really do. I was just telling you before the break that when you're in the spring game, you get a lot of reps. Sometimes you could be out there 14, 15, 16 play drives and you're gassed, dead tired, but it's setting you up for your progression as you get to play more Rutgers football, whether that's on the offensive or defensive side. So it's good to see some of these young guys out there getting these reps right now, early in the game.
Ashenfelder comes from St. John's, Florida, in the Jacksonville suburbs, and throwing on first down into traffic. Looking for Ethan's brother, Dino.
Great breakup right there by Al-Shadi Salam, a guy who's played a lot of football here at Rutgers, whether if that was on offense in the beginning when he first got here as a running back, then transitions over to the defensive side. And I'll tell you what, he's played a lot of reps now at the defensive back, and you're going to be relying on him to be one of those shutdown corners that the Rutgers defense expects to have year in and year out.
Yeah, you're right, Eric. Last spring, Al-Shadi Salam earned the award for Rutgers' most improved defender. And we've talked a lot about who Rutgers is adding on the defense, but there's guys back who are looking to earn starting jobs. As Ed Guerriere, another one factoring in the running back competition, crumbles for a few, but it's 4th and 9.
Yeah, Ed Guerriere had a really good spring this year. Guy that you really hope that could develop and could turn into something for the Scarlet Knight teams. That running back room is very, very deep, but someone that comes in and performs week in and week out for you, that's who you really want to be able to say, you know what, we'll find a way to get him on the field because his production is going to be earned.
Rutgers has split up the specialists today as well. So this was not the punter from last year, Jacob Anderson. This is Riley McCann on the punt. And it tumbles down just beyond the 50-yard line. Well, great start for the white team defense. They come up with 2 stops. Co-defensive coordinators this year, Eric, with Rob Smith, who's in his 3rd stint back at Rutgers, and Zach Sparber, who is new to Rutgers but is a Jersey guy, grew up in Norwood and went to Bergen Catholic. Things are going to stay the same. It's still a 4-2-5 scheme, but looking to bring even more intensity and more production from that defense that Greg Schiano loves so much.
You know, Greg Schiano loves a tough, hard-nosed defense, and seeing how they performed last year, he knew that it was not up to par, and they had to get better on that side of the ball. And it's good to see them early coming out and playing, but they have to continue to grow. They have a bunch of new guys that came in this year, but having a guy like Rob Smith, who was my special teams coach when I was here back from 2009 to 2011, and now Zach Sparber, young guy, hungry, coming from JMU, who had that team, I mean, they were fantastic over the past few years. So a lot of new guys out there that we'll get to see. And David Rowe, my former teammate, been coaching up the cornerbacks, baby.
Now, you know it, Coach Schiano always brings in a couple familiar names in the coaching staff. David Rowe, Charlie Noonan are alums of the program. Rob Smith, this is year 7 overall at Rutgers. As Cerise throws and hits his target on the sideline. Another perfect pass, this time to Vernon Allen III, one of the freshmen in the wide receiver corps.
I'll tell you what, you mentioned it before, Dom, that A.J. Cerise has a good deep ball in. He put that one right there in the money where only his wide receiver was going to make that catch. And the defensive back was in a good position right there, but Vernon goes up and makes a great catch, keeps his foot in, falls out of bounds for the first down.
Allen is the biggest of the 5 freshman wide receivers on the roster at 6'2", 200 pounds. Cerise, RPO. And Benjamin can't get far, driven back at the line of scrimmage.
And when you're in the spring game like this, you want to see good back and forth football. You want to see your offense making plays. You want to see your defense making plays. You don't want to see guys giving up or getting upset. You got to have that forget mentality on to the next play when something good happens and when something bad happens.
Now, Coach Schiano said it during the spring, one of the spring press conferences. He loves the spring game. While so many other programs are abandoning it, he sees what you're talking about, opportunity for real live reps in 60 minutes with fans in the stands.
You only get a certain amount of opportunities to have live reps out there. That's, when you actually think about it, it's very limited. When you're playing, you know, you feel it on your body. Of course, you're like, wow, I'm out here forever. But when you actually think about the amount of reps that you do get, it's not that many. So you have to take advantage of everyone. And having a spring game, let's just say Coach Schiano's not gonna slack on having that opportunity to guys go out there to play Rutgers football.
They call that pass to another freshman, Jordan Houston, incomplete. So 3rd and long, 3rd and 10. Rutgers wants to see Surace in every situation. So 3rd and long on the edge of the red zone, and is a different opportunity. And they'll run with Benjamin, who cuts back. He's got a big crease. And another job by the small and shaky Benjamin, lowering his shoulder, showing that muscle off to pick up a few extra yards.
We see that a lot for the Scarlet Knights last year when they were lining up, spread out the offense, make sure the defense is spread out, and then run that zone run, one cut off of the open man, and you see the running back being able to pick up 10 yards before he's even touched on 3rd and long. So that's a big play for the Scarlet Knights that they use a lot in that type of situation.
And Benjamin redshirted last year, but did play in the bowl game, and he had 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing and 1 receiving. He's a guy who could earn a lot of touches, and does here. Again, navigating the defense and getting down to the 5-yard line. And of course, all of these running backs had a great mentor to learn from last year in Kyle Monungai. And then they add C.J. Campbell Jr., who was one of the best running backs in the American Athletic Conference last year. This is a stacked roster of 4 guys.
It really is. It's going to be hard to get carries on this team. Obviously, C.J. Campbell coming in as a transfer who's going to earn some playing time. Antoine Raymond coming back. He's got Sam Brown who's coming back off of an injury. You know, guys that Benjamin, he just played a lot of football for the Scarlet Knights. He's a very, very veteran room. And guys that are going to be literally fighting and clawing to have that ball in their hands.
Benjamin trips just shy of the end zone. Now, Kyle Monungai, the surest hands in Rutgers football history, right?
No fumbles ever.
3 returners who got to learn from him and learn from that man. Coach.
Be a hero for those kids out there.
He's hanging out in the Rutgers boardwalk, which you see is on the field. And we're going to make sure Max plays some of those carnival games before we're all said and done today.
I think last year, or 2 years ago, we had you in a Ferris wheel.
I went on the Ferris wheel last year, that's right. Right on the goal line here for the white team, trying to double its advantage as Jayshon Benjamin comes up a yard short. Yeah, there's still the pony ride game, though, that you're used to, where you roll the ball in and try to make the pony go. That is if all the fans allow Max Melton a couple of moments to go play a carnival game. He's the most popular guy here.
It really is. I know all the fans coming up to him. That's what it's all about, giving back to the fans. But yes, bringing a little bit of Jersey to the game and having that boardwalk there is just so cool. And the games that you got to play growing up, it's what the kids live for.
Hopefully his hand doesn't get tired signing autographs all afternoon long. Surace, he's going to keep it here with 1 yard to gain. Lob for the back of the end zone is broken up. Sage Claudius, the junior in the secondary, wags his finger no.
Great job by the Scarlet Knight defense, keeping them all out of the end zone right there, especially on the 1 yard line, being able to make that play, not get a penalty, playing through your guy, getting your head back on the right time. Great job by the Scarlet Knight defense, but keeping the white team out of the end zone.
So great stands by the defense, and now the Scarlet will take back over after that 4th down stop deep in their own end zone. At least the fans behind them in the Rutgers boardwalk setup are not on top of them. All the fans, though, they're not letting Max Melton free.
They really are. He's the man of the hour down there. I mean, come on, I got the Arizona Cardinal hat on, I got his nice chain on. The kids are loving it, man. I love this stuff.
He's used to being on wide receivers like glue, and the fans are on him like glue today, too. Freshman Sean Ashenfelter back under center, and he wants to get the Scarlet team out from that end zone. Just missed Dino Kaliak-Manis on the shot 40 yards away.
Actually, I like that a lot. Taking it, you're just backed up in your own goal line. Just take a shot down the field and see if you can get a big play, maybe a penalty. Not a bad call right there for Kirk Ciarrocca and his squad.
Oh, now we're getting Max in there. There's a bunch of inflatable football and basketball games down there, too. And so we're going to get him in the football toss. Can Max thread the needle?
I know, listen. I know he's used to defending the ball. Let's see if he has the arm and can throw it.
Yeah, as long as we don't put him inside the inflatable to knock down the kids' passes, we'll be okay. He's got to warm up. Back to throw and just misses the intended target. Boy, Max Melton was close on first down.
Dude, that thing kind of hard.
No surprise he's got a cannon. Max, how you doing down there? It looks like the Rutgers faithful are happy to see you.
Yeah, okay. We got one.
You can tell he's getting into it right now. He's getting a little bit competitive. I think he forgot about us up here because he's having so much fun down there.
He's hanging out with his guys. This is just Rutgers Nation and Max Melton.
Nope.
And first time I think that Max is back too since we had him last year, the morning after he got drafted by Arizona.
I remember that. What a morning that was for him to come back here and just be with his guys out there down on the field, to be able to celebrate that moment with his family, the Rutgers family. And then he flew out to Arizona right after that. But, you know, kudos to him, and what a great season he did have as a rookie.
I remember doing that interview on the sidelines. It was like 18 hours after he had been picked. He was worrying about where he was going to live in Arizona.
Yes, I remember he said, I got to go look for an apartment now.
It was a great debut year for Max on hand for the Rutgers football spring game, and I'm sure he's got to be happy that the secondary has made some great plays while he's hanging out in the boardwalk, taking pictures. Punted to the 40-yard line and short field for the white team. I told you Max Melton had a great year. Those NFL wide receivers were none too pleased to see Mad Max line up across from them. Rutgers' highest draft pick since 2010, and performed quite well.
He really did. Max Melton had a great rookie season. They really relied on him in that Arizona Cardinal defense. Was able to be a mainstay out there. A guy you can rely on in one-on-one coverage. You know how to play the zone, and that's one thing that you get from a coach player. Smart, reliable, physical, and can play the man-to-man, what you need to do in the NFL.
We're going to have to dedicate a camera to Max Melton signing autographs the rest of the day at this rate. Everybody happy to see Mad Max back. Surace backpedaling on first down, and no surprise, it's a short-armed throw. Yeah, everybody coming through to say hi to Max, because they were watching him on TV this year, too. He lined up at one point against his brother, Bo Melton, who's played for the Green Bay Packers the last couple of years.
That had to be such a cool moment for the entire family. I believe Mom had a split jersey between the two, Green Bay and Arizona Cardinals. And to see your two sons out there going up against each other, iron sharpens iron. I'm sure they went up against each other hundreds of times in the backyard, but now at the professional level, it's just a blessing and a dream come true.
Breaking news from the Rutgers Boardwalk. I think we've seen the last autograph request for Max, at least I think. Surace moving through the pocket, well handled through some pressure. Connecting with Michael Thomas III, freshman from Barnegat, New Jersey, in his first Rutgers catch.
Yeah, he's another guy that was a highly touted recruit that they're really going to look forward for his development going into this fall, and whether if he gets on the field or redshirts, someone who could be a big playmaker for the Scarlet Knight team in the future to come.
Four-star according to 24/7 Sports. 1,300 career receiving yards at Donovan Catholic, which is down in South Jersey. And sets up a 3rd and 1. Benjamin trying to force his way through and gets right to the line to gain.
That's where the Scarlet Knights are going to really have to try to pick up on what Kyle Monangai was able to do. Anytime it was 33 or shorter, you knew who was going to get the ball, and it was almost automatic that he was picking up a first down. So that's where the Scarlet Knight running backs are really going to have to try to keep that momentum going forward, know where you know it's 3rd and inside of 3, we can hand the ball off to you to get those yards. And obviously, the big guys up front need to do their job.
And that's what offensive coordinator Kirk Ciarrocca highly regarded running back coach Demir Shaw are hoping that the returning running backs, Benjamin, Raymond Guerriere, inherit from Monungai. Pressure, and Surace is sacked. Of course, just two-hand touch for the quarterbacks.
Give some love to my defensive lineman right there, getting up the field, making a big play right there in the backfield. The pass rush is what the Scarlet Knights defense has lacked over the past few years, being able to get to the quarterback on a consistent basis. And the one thing you always say as a defensive lineman, you have to win your one-on-ones. And that's at both guys won their one-on-ones. Who was able to get right into AJ Surace's face and be able to come up with the sack.
Two of the Canadians on the defensive line, Pharrell Nago and Jabril Abdur-Rahman, in there on the 7-yard loss. And 2nd and long. Another nice stance by the line. Of course, the defensive line working against an offensive line that's sort of maneuvered this year. Rutgers returns a lot of starters on the offensive line, but has a lot of youth there too and wants to use this spring game 60 live minutes to get them experience.
Yeah, when you got as many reps as you can get as your offensive line together, because they work in a unison of 5, and sometimes they get mixed and matched, and you know how one guy works compared to another. So anytime you can get them all out there together and unison and being able to play Rutgers football offense and knowing exactly what the calls are, what the reads are, it's just going to benefit them because you need those live reps as many as you can get, especially at that position.
So what can Surace do on 3rd and long? It's knocked from behind and nearly turned over. Once again, Abdur-Rahman is in the backfield.
Don't get too close to the quarterback, Abdur-Rahman. You got a great play, great pass rush, and obviously the live game, that's a huge, probably QB sack fumble right there. But in the spring game, don't get too close, buddy.
Abdur-Rahman coming off his biggest role yet last year, played 11 games, made his first 4 career tackles, and probably could have had a sack there if he was allowed to earn one. Well, this sets up an opportunity for Dane Pizarro, sophomore, who we didn't see last year. He redshirted to try from 53 yards. That's got the distance, but off the upright.
He got some good leg into that. Definitely had the distance. Just had to bring it in a little bit more, but it goes to show you he can hit it from there because that hit up midway half of the goalpost.
Yeah, that had enough for 55 yards plus, but the former high school soccer standout turned college football kicker from Philly, Pizarro, wide right by the slimmest of margins. Now, you don't get those opportunities too many times in this setting.
No, you don't.
Try from a mile away.
No, you don't. I remember watching the kickers during practice, and you see them doing all these crazy kicks during practice. You're like, what are they doing? But then you get put in these moments that you don't get many of, and that's where they have to shine because they're reliable, and you want them to be automatic. But they're all human. It's tough sometimes.
Sean Ashenfelder still under center, the freshman from the Jacksonville suburbs. We only saw Ethan Kaliak-Manis, Rutgers' returning starting quarterback for the opening drive. Scarlet Knights are fortunate. They're one of the few Big Ten teams not asking the question, who's our starting quarterback?
It's a great thing to have, and we're not used to that around here much on the banks, but know that your guy comes out there for one drive, does what he needs to do, and now he can call him for the day. You know what you have in him. You know he's your leader. You know who's going to carry your team into this fall. Let him go relax on his eye now. Let these younger guys get their reps.
Ashenfelder, top 30 quarterback in the country last year. Former 2-sport star in baseball and football, and takes off. They'll whistle him back from where he ended up, which was, it felt like a few steps shy of the end zone.
I'm not going to lie. I was faked. I was following the running back. I did not see him pull that ball. That was a great play fake right there. And being able to pick up all those yards like that before the defense even noticed he had the ball.
Now, if they hadn't gotten Ashenfelder back at the 44-yard line, he was gone. I'll say he was touched down by Zylan Williams, senior defensive back. True about Ashenfelder, though, he played baseball as much as he played football until this past year when he became a full-time quarterback for Creekside High. Nice career there, almost 3,000 passing yards. And we know he's handing off here. Moving the pile forward is Ed Guerriere.
It's good to have those multi-sport athletes now. It's rare to find. Usually a lot of people focus on one sport now with the youth leagues, but having a multi-sports allows you to learn different ways to move your body, how to develop. Obviously, working together as with your leadership skills as a team, being to develop into those roles. It's good to see the multi-sport athletes that come out here, and then they finally able to pick where they want to go on the Division I level.
And as an early enrollee, these are Ashenfelder's first live college football snaps. Handing off again to Guerriere, who sees more room on the left side. Great vision from the sophomore from the state of Florida to ID where the green grass was.
That was a great run right there. You saw there was a zone read off to the right. It was absolutely clogged. Put his foot on the ground, step back. The left side was wide open, and it was able to pick up a first down, which went from a play that could have been negative 3 yards to a 5-yard gain.
And once again, the Scarlet team moves the chains, trying to tie this Rutgers football spring game up at 7 apiece. Ashenfelder chance to throw and unblocked off the edge. Braden Bruins was there. All right, Max Melton has signed all the autographs in the building. We've gotten him free, and he is standing on the sidelines with one of the many Super Bowl Scarlet Knights, Michael Burton.
Yes, sir. I'm here with 10-year NFL vet going into his 11th year in the NFL, Mike Burton, the 2015 NFL Draft coming out here at Rutgers. How do you feel, Mike?
I feel great. Just appreciate being here, seeing all the old faces, all the old coaches. It's such a family atmosphere. I actually have my own family up here, so it's been a great day so far.
Exactly. I know you made a lot of great plays in this stadium. Give me one of your favorite memories that happened here at Shaw Stadium.
Oh, man. I would have to say when we beat Michigan here, we were the first team to be in the Big Ten, and we beat Michigan that year at home. It was a close game. It was all blackout jerseys, night game. The crowd rushed the field. It was really special.
I remember that. I was actually watching that game live, man, and you were one of my favorite players. I remember every part of that game, man. I appreciate you. Have a great day out here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks, Max. Great to see Mike back on campus. Plenty of NFL nights on hand today. Remember those early years in the Big Ten? Rutgers last year, the offense was as good as that first year in the Big Ten.
I do. Mike Burton in that team back in 2014. That's crazy to say. It's been that long now, but those times it was a crazy transition. But to see Rutgers playing in the Big Ten was a dream come true for the school and the university, is which they always wanted to. And shout out to everyone who got that job done to get them into the Big Ten. And now we know Rutgers belongs in the Big Ten.
Yeah, no doubt about it. If you can believe it, it's been more than a decade now.
I can't believe it's been that long. Actually, it just means that we're getting old now, Doc. I'll tell you that. But to see Mike Burton going into his 11th year with my Denver Broncos is awesome to see as well. But I'll tell you what, a hard worker, came in here as a walk-on, earned everything, earned a scholarship, then earned his way all the way to the NFL, and still being able to be sustainable. It just goes to show you about the character, the development of Michael Burton throughout the years.
Yeah, Mike is one of a couple Scarlet Knights under Coach Schiano who went from walk-on to starter here to Super Bowl champion in the NFL. And there are plenty of recent alums from Rutgers who are hoping to join Mike in the NFL. We'll take a look a little later on at halftime at who Rutgers hopes to see go to the NFL very soon as today perhaps, in the final few rounds of the NFL draft. But for now, Coach Schiano focused on his 2025 team that's trying to build off of 2 straight winning seasons. And here's some of those guys that are hoping to be drafted. Holland Pierce, the left tackle, a 4-year starter, the sure hands of Kyle Monangai, and the always present man roaming in the secondary, Robert Longerbeam.
I'll tell you what, Holland Pierce is a gigantic human being, and I don't not see him being on the NFL roster with that size. Coming in here as a walk-on over 400 pounds, turned his body into just an incredible transition from 6'8", 400 pounds to 6'8", 330 pounds, athletic, and just being able to be a long arm, big hands, a perfect prototype left tackle. Kyle Monangai, what else could you say about him? I mean, the all-around guy that's been here for so many years who just, you put the ball in his hands and he just made special things happen. And watching Kyle Monangai, you just wish nothing but the best for him because all the hard work was an overlooked guy who came in here and just worked from day one, and he earned this moment. And then Robert Longerbeam, coming up here from Virginia. I tell you what, he's played a lot of football here. And he's not the biggest guy, but I tell you what, that boy makes plays out there. So you hope that he gets his opportunity here as a call today as well.
We'll keep an eye on them throughout the afternoon. White team with the ball, driving here in the final minutes of the opening half. And A.J. Surace, the sophomore, soon-to-be backup quarterback for Rutgers, continues his great afternoon. Surace has been sharp. 7 for 11, 91 yards, and the only touchdown we've seen so far in a defensive-minded day.
He looks very good out there, very calm, very poised. Doesn't look like the game is going too fast for him. Making the right reads and putting the ball where it needs to be.
Again, he's the only quarterback on the white team roster, so it's Surace's show all afternoon long in Piscataway. And his running backs have held up their end of the bargain, too. That's Terrell Mitchell, early enrollee freshman from just up the road in Somerville, New Jersey, earning the first down.
Yeah, Flip coming from Wake Forest, literally right in his backyard here in Piscataway, coming from Somerville High School. So you know his friends and family are happy that he's right here on the banks of the Old Raritan. I'm sure he has a lot of them in the crowd here today to see him get some reps.
And one of a couple guys that Rutgers flipped on signing day to join the Scarlet Knights. Final 2 weeks, Ohio State and Penn State there.
Yeah, that's what you get playing in the Big Ten. One of the best conferences, obviously, in college football. You're week in and week out. It's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be tough. But that's what you want. You don't want it any other way.
Back to action with Surace on 1st and 10. Clean pocket showing the arm, but Jordan Houston can't ID the pass. It had the muscle from Surace.
It did. You wish he would have put a little bit more under, because Jordan Houston got off of that line of scrimmage, and he had about 2 steps on the defender right there, where if he hits him in stride, he's gone, but he had to come back and adjust to the ball a little bit, and obviously wasn't able to turn and locate it. But great job, great route by Jordan Houston. Just got to get Surace to put a little bit more air on that ball, a little bit more touch, and let him run under that and take it to the house.
We'll see how Rutgers operates the 2-minute drill. They'll stay in the air. And a check down opportunity with Terrell Mitchell, who gains the sideline and a 1st down past the 40.
Moving the sticks. Getting out of bounds. Obviously, the clock is still running here. But you're in a 2-minute situation, what you want to see on the Scarlet Knight team, and being able to convert on big plays and get down the field.
And you're looking to see how this young guy in his first opportunity handling the 2-minute offense looks up with the clock on, right? This is a big moment for Surace.
This is what you practice for. You don't get that many rests in a 2-minute offense because there's so many other factors of the game, but these are one of the most important moments of the game. So I love to see Rutgers taking shots here.
And high pointing the ball. Is that a catch? Yes. Getting a toe down, Vernon Allen III.
Tell you what, that's the 2nd time we've seen Vernon Allen III go up along the sideline and make that catch. And it's not easy as a true freshman, knowing where that out-of-bounds marker is and being able to keep your feet in bounds. Got 2 feet in bounds before he got knocked out. Great job by Vernon Allen, and great throw by A.J. Surace, putting him in a position where his wide receiver can make a play.
And completions of 16 and now 22 yards. And once again, looking for the sideline, but this time the defense has the last laugh.
Hey, it's worked twice. Why not go for it to the 3rd time until they can stop it?
Sean Purcell involved in the breakup. And a timeout taken by the white team after that. That clock sometimes is rolling in a spring game in case they want to keep it moving. But it is an opportunity to have that, again, full practice of we're in the 2-minute offense. The clock is moving. We're going to burn the timeout. What can we talk over in this moment to make sure the next play is the best play?
Oh, yeah, these coaches, they're definitely going at this 100% like they would be if this was in the fall. And that's what you want. You want your coaches coaching these guys up. It doesn't matter if they're 1st string on the depth chart or if they're their 4th or 5th string. You're coaching your players to get them better and develop them so they treat every game situation like an actual game.
And this is hands-off time in a lot of ways for Coach Schiano.
Right.
He designates head coaches for the 2 teams. For the white, it's Joe Susan, who's Schiano's special assistant, former head coach at Bucknell, his alma mater. And then for the Scarlet team, Jeff Jones, the director of player development, 2 guys who know these players very, very well, even though they're not on-field assistant coaches. So 24 seconds left. And Surace trying to lead the white team to a tie ball game. Back to throw, and over the middle, there's Allen again, who's past the 20-yard line and absorbs the hits. Vernon Allen has gotten open time and again.
He sure has. We see him on the deep ball. Now we get to see him on the post route, getting off the line of scrimmage, boom, beating him in, doing that in route, catching the ball with his hands, and being able to get upfield and absorb the hit and pick up a big first down to get your team in great field position to at least get 3 points here.
You saw the shimmy shake from Allen coming off the line of scrimmage. Nice job on a pickup of 18. Hey, later tonight, Danny Bus Boom Kelly makes her Nebraska coaching debut when the Huskers take on Kansas. Spring volleyball tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Meanwhile, in Piscataway, New Jersey, spring football, the Scarlet-White game ahead of the 2025 season. Getting ready for the 1,422nd game in Rutgers history, which will be the season opener against Ohio U. A.J. Surace up to 10 for 16, 146 yards and a touchdown. Plenty of the fans in the stands are interested, but some of those youngins along the horse ride line are just focused on winning a teddy bear.
Hey, they're competing. I like that. You want to see these kids competing out there on the boardwalk, trying to win all those boardwalk prizes.
Can Rutgers get him to block kicks? Use that guy.
Stilts.
The guy on stilts. 10 feet tall. Surace looking end zone, underthrown ball, and intercepted.
No, he dropped
nearly intercepted.
CTO, TTY, catch the ones they throw to you. As a defensive back, you got to catch those ones to get off the field because those are important moments right there where you can now stop the Scarlets from getting 3 points and you go into half by taking a knee. But right there, he drops the ball right there. Now the offense has another opportunity to go out there and either try to score a touchdown or kick a field goal.
Michael Clayton, freshman, the #1 cornerback in the state of Georgia, had it all the way to the turf, but could not complete the catch.
That says CTOTTY, catch the ones they throw to you.
You don't know if you're going to get another opportunity in this game if you're Clayton. And one, maybe 2 more opportunities for Surace to target the end zone with 10 seconds left. Good blocking. He's got Thomas, and that's deflected, broken up. Michael Robinson, the second, 50-year senior there on the disruption.
That was a great play by Michael Robinson because he was originally beat by Thomas, as you see, running up that slot fade to the corner of the end zone, but was able to recover, get his hands up, and break it at the point break. When you can't get your eyes back, you got to be able to play to the defender's hands, and that's exactly what Robinson was able to do on that play.
And with 6 seconds left, they'll take the offense off and put the specialists on the field. Dane Pizarro will get a second opportunity and make it a field goal, this time from 38 yards. And that time, much better. First made field goal in Dane Pizarro's career. We didn't see him.
It's great people on and off the field.
Yeah, the proof is in the results for Coach Schiano, who's Rutgers' all-time wins leader, has led this program to 9 bowls and hoping there's a 10th one at the end of the 2025 season. As we start the second half in this Scarlet-White game, and it's the white team on offense. Handoff for Terrell Mitchell gets us going, and he picks up a pair.
Yeah, good to see this young guy back out there. He had a few plays that he got to make in the first half. I think it was 22-yard reception up the sideline. Now getting to see the ball and getting to play in front of his fans and his family here to support him today from right down the road in Somerville, New Jersey.
This is the offense that's had the better of the success. Of course, the score tells you that, but you see A.J. Surace's line, the sophomore in his first real extended action on the field after redshirting his past year, is back to throw, and once again he hits his favorite target. Vernon Allen comes up with his 4th catch.
I'll tell you what, this guy's a natural receiver. This is the first time we're all getting to see him, except for in practice, but watch how he's able to just go across the middle, and he catches it with his hands and ducks down, absorbs the contact like he did before, and picks up big plays. That's what you need, those intermediate routes that allow you to keep the sticks moving, where you can't always take the ball down the field or you can't just dump it off. Those are the guys that you need to rely on, and Vernon Allen is out there performing today.
Yeah, that's a pickup of 16. Kirk Ciarrocca talks a lot about chunk plays and trying to increase Rutgers' total of chunk plays. There is one, and that's another as A.J. Surace tucks and runs for a first down. First time he shows off the legs. That may not be the leading attribute, but should not be slept on.
Absolutely, and that's what you need in the Kirk Ciarrocca offense. All three guys that we know can run the ball at that QB position. Like you said, it might not be their lead attribute, but knowing that you can get them the ball and be able to say, okay, we're going to go with a fake here, the whole defense is going to follow the running back, and boom, the quarterback comes out the backside and picks up a first down.
So Race went to high school at Notre Dame. That's in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, outside of Trenton. He had a great year as a passer, but he also ran for 975 yards and 15 rushing touchdowns. So a guy who throws a great deep ball and throws the intermediate route for another completion, another chunk play, and this one right at the sticks to Jordan Houston.
I'll tell you what, that was a big play for the Scarlet Knight offense as well last year. The first and second down, throwing that 10-yard hitch route, comeback route, right at the sticks and being able to catch the ball, turn and get the first down, and it's a great drive starter for the team and being able to get the team in the rhythm and the motion and also get your quarterback some confidence delivering the ball.
For the youngster Houston, his second catch. As Surace tries to lead another touchdown drive. Another 3 wide set. Rutgers has been out of the gun basically all day long with one running back, and that's Terrell Mitchell. No running room this time, though. Swallowed in the backfield by a host of defenders, including another freshman, an All-American at the high school level, DJ McClary.
It's good to see those young guys out there making plays and getting able to play in this defense. And they obviously get exciting for the future what these guys are able to do at now this next level. So love to see the youngsters out there flying around, making plays and developing some confidence at a young age.
Now, McClary is Jersey born and bred, from Jersey City, #1 linebacker in the state last year according to Rivals. And basically every program in the country was knocking on his door. He decided to stay home.
And that's exactly what you want. You want to have these Rutgers guys here in New Jersey staying home.
You guessed it. It's Surace to Allen. And if this spring game is any indication for what we could see, maybe not this year, but down the road for Rutgers football, Surace to Allen. Get used to saying that.
I like it. I like it a lot. Allen the third out there making plays. And it's not anything really too fancy. It's just going across the middle and making plays. Beating your defender one-on-one. AJ Surace putting the perfect amount of timing on this ball to hit him right out of his break and able to be able to pick up a few more yards after the catch is exactly what you want. So great connection that we're seeing here developed by Surace and Vernon Allen, Vernon Allen the third, I should say.
And give it to Mitchell this time. Picks up a couple. Now, AJ Surace, it's no surprise that he's had success as a college football player, even though it's so tough to cut it as a Big Ten quarterback. He comes from a football family. His dad, Bob, is the head coach at Princeton, has been for quite a while. His grandpa, Tony, is in the New Jersey Football Coaches Hall of Fame, legendary high school coach in South Jersey at Millville High. Even his uncle Brian was a D3 college football coach for close to a decade in New Jersey at FDU Florham. So the football runs very deep in the Surace family tree.
I wonder what they talk about at holidays. So when you have those guys like that, when you from a youngster, just being talked about the language, the football language, the lingo, all the way throughout your entire life, literally, it just sets you up for success, especially at that QB position where you're the leader. The ball touches your hands every play, and you're the one who's going out there, figuring out where the ball's going, making the right reads, getting your guys lined up, all that. So being able to have that at a young age and being able to just pick the brains of his family members, not even just coaches, just family members, is just a huge plus.
Yeah, you can watch some film over some Thanksgiving turkey. So very familiar with the college football setting, and he's showing it today. 3rd and 5, Rutgers trying to run and will not get there. Pharrell Nago stops Terrell Mitchell and forces 4th down.
Bringing out the field goal team here to try another kick. 3rd and 5, we've seen the Scarlet Knights done this year. There's a little mixed communication up front, but good play by the Scarlet defense, coming up with a big 3rd and 5 stop and being able to force a 4th down here and a field goal attempt. When they're in the red zone, make them kick field goals.
Dane Pizarro has already made a field goal today from in the 30s, this time from 31. Tall kick, tucks through that left upright, and he's good for the 2nd time in his debut as a Scarlet Knight.
He definitely has the leg on him, that's for sure. So You know, we'll work on that accuracy, but you can see he has the ability to hit from probably 55 plus with just a little bit of accuracy.
Yeah, we have not seen Rutgers starting kicker Jay Patel yet today. He's on the Scarlet team. That's why there hasn't been a setting for him. But good signs of what could be to come after the senior Patel, with the sophomore Pizarro hitting a couple. And it puts the white team up 13-0. And now if you're the Scarlet, we have not seen Ethan Kaliakmanis since that opening drive, making sure he's rested. You've got a young quarterback with a bunch of Rutgers experienced or transfers around him. I'm sure you're taking this a little personally, right? We want to score some points here.
Absolutely. You don't want to end up with a donut on the score, so you want to try to get this side going. But you also have to realize you have a guy in there who's never played at the college level besides these practices that he's got in there. So you want to give him some slack, but also say, let's get some points on the board here. We don't want to get shut out.
That's Sean Aschenfelder, who did not complete a pass in the first half and zips one out there. There's his first completion.
That's a nice reverse jinx right there for you.
Happy to help on the link up with that man's brother, connecting with Ethan's brother, Dino Kaliakmanis.
That's so cool, too, that the two brothers getting to play with each other. You know, nothing like being able to play with your sibling growing up with each other, and then you guys both make it to that level. And just being able, even if it's not everyone starting, being able to just be about that bond with each other on and off the field, it's just special for the entire family.
Yeah, time for Ethan Kaliakmanis to enjoy and watch his younger QBs play. Great push from the linebacker position. John Nsinga stops the run.
And I think we're going to see exactly what Coach Schiano wants. Back and forth here, you see the defensive lineman getting knocked back into the field, opening the holes for linebackers to shoot the gaps. That's exactly what you want from your front. And the linebackers making great instincts reads and be able to make tackles for losses, because being able to get TFLs sets up offenses in positions they don't want to be in. It gets them off of rhythm, gets OCs in plays calls that they don't really have that many calls for. So that's a great job for the Scarlet Knight defense after allowing a first down.
That's the white team standing up with another stop.
The white teams.
Knocked down at the line of scrimmage and incomplete.
Told you I was going to mess that up between Scarlet Knight and white. I knew it was going to happen.
Guys on the line are paying attention to this pass.
Yeah, great job. If you can't get to the quarterback, you get your hands up and you try to affect the throws, and that's exactly what you do. You mirror the throwing hand, and you're able to see the big club by Hughes stepping up and being able to knock that down on the field. I don't think he's feeling much. Look at that club. My God.
That's not a hand. That's like a paddle. Where Henry Hughes' right hand should be. Can he use that to hit the bell up on one of those games you play on the boardwalk where you bring the sledgehammer through?
I'm sure he can. That thing is padded down.
Use your sledgehammer when you've got the paddle. It's your right hand.
Man. That thing is gigantic. I don't know if I've seen what that be.
Anything within 5 yards of Henry Hughes is not getting through the line of scrimmage.
He honestly might have a boxing glove under there that's wrapped up right there.
He's ready for war down in the trenches.
I love it.
His deflection sets up 4th down. If we don't see Henry Hughes on the field, we'll look for him on the Rutgers boardwalk. That's where he'll be. That forces the Scarlet to punt it away. And a kick that settles at the 29-yard line. And the white team can build on this.
From the stadium from when you played here.
Well, first thing, all of that up there was grassy knoll. That's what we called it. Same thing back over here. But the most important part about this stadium is that I ran that touchdown right there.
Yeah.
90-yard touchdown right there. That's right.
Literally,
That's right.
literally. And I remember watching the VSA tapes, all that. And yeah, man, it's a show. It's a real highlight film. Now let me go to my mom. How was it coming to watch Dad play? Obviously exhausted after all those practices right on Livingston Ave, 5 minutes away.
Yes, very exhausting, but I had to come and watch my baby run that touchdown, you know that. But of course, he wasn't as exciting as you and Bo, but.
How you feel about that?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We'll just go with it. But again, my mother and father.
Thanks, Max. Great to see the Melton family down on the fields. Pop Scary, Mom Vicky. Now you saw they both played at Rutgers. Dad played football, Mom played basketball in the late 80s, early 90s, and they gave birth to 2 outstanding Rutgers football players in Max and Bo.
And that's what you want. You know, you got two Rutgers and former athletes that met here and they stayed here in New Jersey, raised their kids in New Jersey, and then their kids obviously turned out to be incredible athletes, come back here to play at Rutgers University and cement that legacy here. We were joking last night, Dom, maybe we'll see the next group of Melton groups coming up here later on in the future, you know, fast forward probably 18 years, 20 years from now, but that's what it's all about, cementing your legacy. The Melton family has for sure done that here at Rutgers.
Well, the third generation of Meltons perhaps down the line. Great to see them both two, the four of them combining for four outstanding careers as Scarlet Knights. Nice catch there by Jordan Houston. Let's head down memory lane. Of course, we remember Max, right? He was in the Big Ten era, three-time All-Big Ten honoree as quarterback. Bo helped lead Rutgers into the Big Ten as a star at wide receiver. And then mom and dad. How about this, Eric? That's back in the day.
The throwback days, you heard the VHS tapes. I know he and dad no idea what those VHS tapes was when he was born. But to see them all together like this is what it's all about. Yeah, I'm sure mom and dad can't be happier. Everyone that's been a part of their journey, this is what you live for. And look at them smile on their faces, seeing their kids be able to play here after them. It's special.
You know, it's been a minute since Gary was here. They had his picture in black and white there.
I mean, it wasn't that long. My God. I mean, I was born in '90. He was here when I was born. I have colored pictures. We got to work on that. Jimmy Gill, we got to get us some better pictures.
Yeah, it's funny, though. Great to see the entire Melton family here. They had a big year last year around this time when Max got drafted, and now the parents can be doting and excited, over-the-moon gloating parents watching two sons play in the NFL and sign every autograph. He's back at it, Eric. Max was signing the autographs in the first half. We couldn't get him out of the boardwalk, and there he is again.
I know. Now he's got something there. Look, I think he's FaceTiming somebody now. So, you know, the parents got to get the autographs for the friends as well. You're not getting away without getting the parents' autographs for the friends and the neighbors and everyone around.
Before he's done, you and I got to get a Max Melton autograph. Everybody else has got one. Why not us?
He's got a pretty good arm. Might be able to hit us up here in the booth with one of the footballs.
That's true. That can be a new Rutgers Boardwalk game. Can you throw it all the way up to the broadcast booth? Well, that one thrown right over the middle, and a catch made as the Scarlet team tries to build some offense. Ben Rosenblatt hangs on through some contact.
Yeah, helmet popping off, making a play across the middle. Good job by him. Let's see if this offense can get some momentum now. Young freshman back there, get his first opportunity to be out there to play. This is what you want to see. Just get some momentum, give him some confidence, try to slow things down from him, and you have to make plays for him when he's out there.
Yeah, pick up a 15. Sean Aschenfelder starting to show the arm now. Of course, we're into the third quarter, so Rutgers has some of the backups in. Under 3 minutes to go in this period. Ed Guerrier taking the run off the left side, and you can see him lowering his shoulder, trying to bulldoze his way through the mass of humanity there to meet him.
Yeah, when you got that full head of steam coming off the side, not being touched for the first 8 yards, you have to make sure you fall forward and you lower the ball and pick up those extra yards. That's what you have to do at that running back position, especially when you're running untouched. You cannot get knocked back. So good job right there by Ed Guerrier and beat him to go off the side. Great job by the offensive line, and then boom, lower the boom, setting up a second and short.
We're keeping an eye on that running back competition as Rutgers figures out what's next after Kyle Monungai. Future certainly bright, though, with so many options. Guerrier, who redshirted last year, being one of them. All-time leading rusher at Port Charlotte High School down in South Florida. Smaller guy at 5'8", speedy, runs a 4.48 40-yard dash, but he's got some sneaky lower body strength, too.
Yeah, he does. That's when you see when he gets hit. He's still dragging guys and defenders up the field, so that's what Rutgers loves to the running back. Not guys that get hit and go right down. Guys that bounce off of you like little pinballs and keep it moving forward, and then sometimes they get lost behind the big guys up front, and you can't even see them, and the next thing you know, boom, they're popping out for the big runs.
I hear linemen say that all the time. Is that true? Sometimes you lose a guy in the mess?
Oh, easily.
Completed to Guerrier. They lost him again. Inside the 30-yard line on the long link-up.
Looks like he's getting stronger and stronger as this game goes on into the second half. But, yes, it is very true. When you're sitting there battling those offensive linemen up front, you get lost sometimes when you see a little guy, sneak out the backfield or coming up. You're like, where is he? Where is he? Next thing you know, it's too late. He runs right past you, especially when you got 4.48 speed like Guerrier has.
Exhibit A right there. MJ Johnson had no idea what was coming. And it was a 28-yard gain, mostly after the catch for Guerrier. The Scarlet threatening to score for the first time. Final minute of the third quarter. Guerriere, we've seen his poise behind the line of scrimmage, waiting there to find the seam, and navigates his way for a few.
And that's a great run right there, because you look at it where it's dead to rights if you run straight into the back of the line where it's supposed to go on that zone to the right. But put a foot in the ground, you find the gap, and boom, hit that gap, and you pick up 5 yards just like that. That's huge to keep your offense on rhythm, where instead of a play that could go negative yards or no gain. So great job, great eyes by the running back to be able to get upfield and take what the defense gives you.
And they'll let the Scarlet run the play, it looks like, even though the clock is down to 0. Welcome to spring football. Final play with time expired in the 3rd quarter. A run for game.
At a high standard, and you know that the standard's the standard, and that's what we're going to live by.
And we both have this, you know, mutual, obviously friends and coaches, and Coach Ciarrocca. I got to play for him, and you got to play for him as well. What has he meant to you as a mentor, leadership? I know he gets on you guys, but I love to see the development of you and his offense. What's it been like being able to play for him?
Yeah, it's meant everything for me, because, you know, from the time he's recruited me to now, I've grown tremendously, not only as an athlete, but as a person. And I give a lot of credit to Coach Ciarrocca. He's been, I haven't really, you know, I haven't been with him through a lot of the process, but, you know, it's always found a way back. So yeah, I just look at it as it's meant to be. We're here now. It's just time to chop, baby.
Ethan, did you get a good look at that Ed Guerriere 8-yard touchdown run? What was that? Let's be an analyst for a moment.
Yeah, I'm trying not to go absolutely crazy right now, but a little outside zone. I wanted to run down. I'm itching to run down the field and celebrate with the guys right now. So yeah, a little outside zone from Ed. Good job by Ed.
See you then. It's for taking some time out during the spring game.
No, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys.
Much love, brother.
Great to see QB1 put on his analyst cap for a second there, too. Whenever football's all said and done for him, maybe a future with us up here in the booth.
I swear, he's the most happiest man alive. That man always has a smile on his face. Look at him walking around, too. Just excited for everyone, excited for the moment. Doesn't take anything for granted. That's what you want as your leader, as your team. He's never too big for the moment. It's always about the guy next to him. And as your quarterback, what he's been able to do for this program in 1 year is truly special. So you're happy for that guy. You just wish nothing but the best for him.
Coming off a year where he finished top 5 in program history in completions and passing touchdowns, more than 200 completions, 18 passing TDs. And A.J. Surace looking for one of his own as he hits Jordan Houston for plenty after the catch. But we'll get our own look at that touchdown run from Ed Guerriere. Exactly like Ethan said, a little zone to the outside.
Little zone to the outside, great blocking by the wide receivers down the field. Obviously, the offensive line did their job up front, and you let Ed do the rest. He ran in there pretty much untouched. So that means that your guys have got man on a man, hat on a hat, and holding up on their guys and winning their one-on-ones.
So Guerriere showing us something. Again, there's at least 4 running backs who are going to be in the conversation for touches. And he scores the first touchdown for the Scarlet. Airing it out, Surace cannot link up with Houston. A couple times now he's been looking for number 4 in the white, 50 yards down the field.
I know, that seems to be the guy that he wants to take the shot with over the top down the field. So obviously got to work on that a little bit, and that's where the reps come into. But you see who the go-to guy is down the field for the future, and Houston definitely has some burners on him.
Houston, native of the Bronx, but went to high school at St. Thomas More in Connecticut, where he set a program record last year, 13 receiving touchdowns. And picked Rutgers over a long list of schools. Penn State, Michigan State, Maryland among them. Handoff is not going far for Jordan Kinsler, who's wearing the gray jersey, which means he can play for either side today. So gray on gray tackle.
I actually like those uniforms. They're kind of slick.
Yeah, Raiden Bruins, who can also play for either team, comes in for the stop.
Yeah, a little gray on gray. Actually, you don't know who's your guy coming up to make the fifth and tackle out, but great job right there being able to come up, fit the run in that safety position, and make a play.
And the majority of players who are wearing the gray jerseys are offensive linemen. So you end up in a situation where you've got all these guys, these 6'6" behemoths, and you don't know who's who.
it's really hard to tell which one is which. So hopefully you know your teammates well enough where you look at them like, is that offense or defense? Oh, yeah, okay, that's a defensive guy. Let me keep running.
Get away from that guy. Surace tucks in and runs for a few. It is 4th down, though. And so the white team will have to punt. Great day otherwise for A.J. Surace, though, who's up over 200 passing yards and a touchdown. And punt coming from Jacob Anderson, who started as a freshman as the punter last year. And the Scarlet will start at the 13-yard line. Well, we cannot wait for this moment coming up in the 2025 season, the 15th annual A Walk to Believe, Eric. I cannot believe it's already 15.
I can't believe it's been 15 years. 15 years of believing, and just to see all the support. You see us marching down the boardwalk. We switch it up from a 5K to get the more Rutgers, faithful involved with this walk, and we're able to come down the boardwalk. We had a great tailgate. We got to see the team come do the Scarlet Walk. And then afterwards, we came into the game and watched the game. The people who raised the most money, the teams that raised the most money, were honored on the field at halftime. And we've raised $3 million, over $3 million for spinal cord injury research through Team LeGrand and the Christopher and Dana Reed Foundation. And we want to continue to live Christopher Reed's dream, and that's finding a cure for paralysis in a world of empty wheelchairs. So we'll keep on plugging forward with that. And the way people can get involved is going to ChristopherReed.org/AWTB and be a part of our walk and be part of our journey and help the 5.6 million Americans that are dealing with some sort of paralysis. So it's been quite the journey. I got people doing a run for me right now, doing a 4x4x48, which they switched to 52, which means they're running 4 miles every 4 hours for the next 48 hours.
Whoa.
And they end on Sunday at 4 o'clock, and it's all for the paralysis community to raise money for. It's insane. So shout out to the Run 4 group and everyone that will be a part of A Walk to Believe on September 6th. So it's amazing to see what people can do once they come together for a great cause.
Oh, my goodness. I'm tired just thinking about that.
It's some David Goggins thing that they came up with, and we all know how crazy he is, so I love it.
So A Walk to Believe will culminate on the Rutgers Boardwalk next year, the second game of the year. As you mentioned, we did that last year. Awesome moment, too. It was sort of a gloomy day like this started. But I remember when that walk came down the boardwalk, the sun came out for the first time, and it was sort of a poetic moment for how that should be.
It really was. The sun came out, and like I said, the Scar Walk came right through. And then we had a great tailgate right after that where, I'm not going to lie, we had a little bit of the Grand Bourbon going, flowing that day, which is amazing to see Rutgers fans drinking that and having a good time eating the cheeseburgers and whatnot. Then we came on the field and got to honor the special people that raised the most money and make sure that the Rutgers got to see them as well. So can't wait for it to come up on September 6th this year versus Miami, Ohio. And I hope to see everyone come marching down the boardwalk with us. If not, if you feel like donating, you can go back to that website and just, like I said, help the paralysis community so we can find that cure one day.
Well, the Scarlet is back on the field trying to tie the ball game or take the lead right now, down 13-7. Let's get that right. And a new quarterback, Rocco Raynon, the sophomore preferred walk-on, is under center.
Hey, Rocco Raynon, I like it. I like it.
As a guy who's named Dom Savino, Rocco Raynon is a strong name, let me tell you.
I love it. I love it, man. Got the Italian connections going on here, Dom.
That's right. Coming from Long Island, Glen Clove, New York. Had his high school ball at Holy Trinity. Those were his first snaps as a Scarlet Knight. We've not seen him before. He redshirted last year. And the White will take over at the 48-yard line. Well, also, as we come down the stretch here in the Scarlet-White game, we're looking forward to our final play of the game, and it will focus on that young man wearing the Rutgers #2 jersey. His name is Jalen Javeri. He's a 13-year-old from Warren here in New Jersey. Jalen lives with a neuromuscular disorder. He lives Rutgers' mantra, keep chopping, by putting in work every day to be strong both mentally and physically. This spring, he was matched with Rutgers football by Team Impact, so he's been around the team in practice. He's been in the Hale Center all spring long, and Jalen will feature as the star in our final play of the Scarlet-White game. Can't wait to see Jalen on the field. Looks like he's excited.
Honestly, I love this tradition of college football. A great run right there. But I love to see this tradition of college football here at Rutgers and throughout the entire nation, where we're going to highlight kids that are going through just unimaginable remember diseases or sicknesses in their life, and they continue to fight, continue to believe. And if we say here, keep chopping through those moments and being able to come out here in these moments, puts a smile on their face, not only them, their families, because their families are also affected as well, and being their caretakers and helping them navigate through life. And to see them have this moment and being able to go out there on this football field and have that last play, this is what it's truly all about, and this is what the best highlight of college football is.
Parents, brother, sister, family, friends, all down on the sideline, eager to see Jalen. He's going to get the final snap at the end of this game. And SHI Stadium, the Hale Center, this is home for him now. We've seen him so much in Piscataway, hanging out with Sir Henry on the field, so he's been here before.
He has been here before. Look, I got to meet the guys, hang out in the weight room, hang out with the Sir Henry Scarlet Knight, break down some film. Look at him enjoying himself. This is what it's all about. You can see the smile on his face. And getting his own personal journey. This is where you would love to see the highlight of this family. Because who knows what they have been going through for his entire life. But this moment, I can promise you, they will never forget.
Yeah, Jalen's getting his game face on, too.
Is he gritty a little bit?
Yeah, practicing maybe the touchdown dance, if he can take it home. We'll see in just a couple of minutes. White team driving for the moment, though, with Cerise under center, handing to Terrell Mitchell, find some space. See if he's taken a page out of some of the Rutgers running backs that we've seen today. Ed Guerriere had a touchdown run earlier. Jayshawn Benjamin went for 44 yards himself. Seen some success from the running backs who are vying for that starting spot.
If there's one group that you really want to look up to for mentorship, it is definitely that running back group, and seeing how they're able to carry that ball and what they've been able to do today. So I'm sure Jalen has gotten his share of meeting with them, learning to play, what he needs to do, and making sure he follows suit.
Well, again, this is a normal football game, effectively, so we've hit the 2-minute timeout, and we will stop here, although they're going to keep the clock running. Opportunity for A.J. Cerise in the white offense to head into the huddle one more time and talk over how they want to pursue the final stretch of this 3rd and 2, up by 6. Folks, don't forget, coming up after this, we've got more excelled. A.J. Cerise, though, is the story for me so far.
A.J. Cerise is definitely the story. Jersey guy that Coach Shannon recruited, and you see what he's been able to plant the future of the Scarlet Knights and what he's able to do here, and it gives you just some hope and belief that, wow, this kid is confident. Look at how he's able to read the defense, read down the field, making big throws down the field, coming out, boom, hitting Ben Black up the sideline. Intermediate routes of 15-yard ends across the field. Sideline throws, throwing it up to his receiver where only his receiver can get the ball. And then showing it off a bootleg package, dropping it off to Mike Higgins out the backfield for the Scarlet Knight touchdown. All-around game here for A.J. Cerise, and it's exactly what you wanted to get from him today.
His first Rutgers touchdown going to Mike Higgins to start the scoring. Completions to 6 different receivers so far for Cerise, which is notable to me because in a game like this where you've got personnel coming in and out, whether it's freshmen or a senior like a Higgins or guys who are up and down the depth chart, he's still been able to link up with them.
Exactly, linking up with all different guys that he's going to be able to play with and knowing probably what their specialties are and how to throw them the ball and get them into the right positions to be successful. That's what you want from your quarterback. So whether if you're throwing it to the first string guy, the second string guy, the third string guy, having that rapport with them, having that relationship with them, and know what they're successful at, and that's what A.J. Cerise has been able to do today.
But unable to pick up the first down there, stopped 4 yards short, and the white team will punt it away. Scarlet will get one more opportunity to score, and we'll see if Jalen has a look at perhaps the game-winning touchdown. Our Jalen Javeri waiting on the sidelines for his final play. KJ Duff fair catches that one. He's getting himself psyched up. We saw that he's been here before. He's also comfortable at Rutgers because he comes from a Rutgers family. You see mom and dad on hand. Mom Limka and dad Vikas are both Rutgers grads. So this is home for them, truly.
It really is. And I'll tell you what, everywhere I go, Dom, whether around New Jersey, around this country, there is somebody connected to Rutgers University, whether if it's the actual person, a family member, or a friend. The alumni has been amazing here at Rutgers. So glad to see mom and dad are proud Rutgers alumni as well.
And there they are. They've lived through it all with Jalen. Jalen keeps chopping. The last couple snaps for this Scarlet at the end of the spring game. And a completion for Rocco Raynone. That's his first.
How you doing?
that Rocco or Joey who completed that?
Thought it was Rocco.
Well, how you doing? Rocco's doing quite well. Connects for 9 yards. And maybe get one more play in here. With Guerriere in the backfield, Raynon is back to throw, and why not air it out? Looking down the sideline, lots of contact, but pass incomplete for Trent Osborne. And that leaves us with 1 second on the clock. And that man waiting in the wings.
We got his little brother, it looks like, as well. Going to join him, the whole family.
Yeah, sister Shyla, brother Dylan are both here as well. And now, with 1 second left on the clock, we'll have Jalen wait. We're going to make sure everybody gets set up on the field, it looks like.
Oh, they're bringing it down to the... Oh, this is going to be a 99-yard play right here, it looks like.
And they're going to flip us around.
Oh, flip it. Oh, okay.
They're not
I
gonna
was about to say, I would be exhausted after that.
I can't run 90 yards, so we're not going to make Jalen do that. Jalen's been around the Hale Center, though, and he's been with Rutgers strength and conditioning staff, so who knows? This kid's tough.
And JB, I'll tell you what, they'll get him right. That's my guy right there. The strength and conditioning staff here is next to none at the top with what they can do with these guys. So what's up to JB and his staff, and Jalen, can't wait to see this guy's last play.
So here we go. Jalen Javeri, who's been with Rutgers football through Team Impact all spring long. He's been in the program. He's learned the plays. He's been around the team. Ethan Kaliak-Manis will come back in under center, and Coach Schiano will give us the final play because the Scarlet is trailing by 6 right now, Eric. So this could make the difference.
This is the difference right here, absolutely. Let's see what the Scarlet does.
Javeri in the backfield with Kaliak-Manis under center. And he hands to Javeri, who's taken off right side. He's at the goal line, and he's in for the touchdown.
With the spike. Oh, you love these moments right here.
Jalen Javeri comes up with the winning play in Rutgers football spring game.
You see the Rutgers team dancing around him and everything, giving him the fist bumps. A moment for a lifetime, and a picture that I'm sure will be mounted on his wall in his room forever, where his family will be able to love this moment.
Look at him, like nothing ever happened. High-fiving the guys. Yeah, I did that. I scored.
Yeah, calm, cool, collective, like he's been there before.
And a spike at the end of it to celebrate the touchdown here at the end of the Scarlet-White game. Now take one more look at Jalen Javeri's run to the house, where the defense was no factor for Jalen.
In fact, good push up front by the offensive line. Look at Ethan Kaliak-Manis leading him up into the end zone, and boom, right into the end zone, spike it. Yeah, I've done this before. I'm here. This is my end zone.
That is a professional spike from Jalen, and Coach Schiano loves what he's seeing. His future running back, Jalen Javeri's got the vision to find his way into the end zone and bring it home. And the Scarlet grabs the victory in this ball game because of that. 14-13. Eric, final thoughts. AJ Surace balled out, and the defense had some big moments too.
It really did. The defense